Welcome to BraveheartVaishnevi. And today is, I don't know what name should I give to this segment. This is basically like a telly, storytelling segment. So, should we do like a chugli session? Or should we call it, I don't know. So, drop in your suggestions. What should I name this series? And because I cannot think of, but for now we will just call it story time with your Braveheart girl. And today's topic is about the boat. So lately I posted stories on my Instagram about the Cannula and how it's difficult to switch from the port to back to Cannula, even though for almost 25 and a half years of my life I have had Cannula. But past 5 months with the chemo port, or over here known as Davi, my life has changed. So, as a child, I have always had a problem to find my veins. In India, the nurses got used to our veins, so they knew which were the good ones. Like especially if I had to go for a blood test, over here, like they use a bigger butterfly needle to take the blood samples. But over there, you can even do it like with a small, just the needle. Very small. Can you see this little bump? I have this little bump, which is basically kind of a vein bump. Um, so I used to go for my blood transfer, for my blood test, and the caretaker of the ward used to be like, "अरे अरे ये रही इसकी vein, यहाँ से निकालना है blood sample." So in India they were more used to it. What are my regular veins, and I think they were more trained with the how to deal with the thalassemic veins. Over here, I won't say they're not trained or anything, but over here the rule is that one nurse tries twice and then they have to call a senior. They cannot try more than twice. So, it was never the same nurse, and also because my veins were so deep, and for some reason, even with a baby, the needle which is used for the babies, even in that, with the smaller cannula, I used to get my blood transfusion done. But over here, they prefer big needles. So it was just getting very complicated, and they suggested me to get the port. And as always, as any other person would be, I was scared because it required a small surgery. And with the name of surgery, everybody goes like, bro, no, I don't want to get it done. But now, 6 months into living in Geneva, I was tired of putting Desveral injections on my skin because from 2021 till mid 2021 till end of 23 24 beginning, I was regularly putting my Desveral injections on the skin. And I think I was just fed up with it because, to regularly put it, it drains you to inject yourself. It's not a very good feeling to be doing that. But I was very serious because my ferritin level was 13,000 and I had to bring it down. I had to just work on myself. So I was on a combination, and so I was doing iron chelation orally and iron chelation through the infusions. In fact, I even used to put Desveral injections and go to work. So from West Delhi, I used to travel all the way to Gurgaon for 1.5 to 2 hours with Desveral on. So I have also done that in life. So I think, just I was exhausted because of the aftermath of the injections. The swelling that I used to get after doing the 8-hour infusion. My thighs used to be swollen in the morning, my arms. I don't like to put it on my stomach. A lot of people find it very comfortable on their stomach, but I cannot. Like, my most comforting place is my arms, and then my thighs, and then least is the stomach. Like, I actually never used to put it on my stomach unless and until it was like really needed. Then I had a word with my doctors over here. I was like, it's getting too much. I can't do it. In between, I even stopped because, like, physically, emotionally, mentally, I was so tired of injecting myself. Then they said, okay, you know what? We will have a home nurse come to you and help you get back into it and, get into the whole zone of it. Even she came, and I started injecting myself again. But again, it was so exhausting and tiring that I started to, like, I was like, just I can't, I just cannot do it. So then I spoke to my nurse and they said, okay, we can try doing it through the infusion in the vein. I was like, okay, we can do that, and it was a mutual understanding between the doctor and me that I'm ready for it, and for that I have to be admitted in the hospital for at least 3 to 4 days to see in the infusion if it's suiting me, how it affects my health, if it's not too much of an impact on my heart. So I went and got admitted in the hospital. When I was doing Desferal injections on my own, I finally managed to take my ferritin level from 13,000 to 6,000. And in India, when I used to get myself tested, on on a month, it would come 5,000. And then the next time I would get it done, it would come 9,000. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening? And because I've had a history of being a stubborn child and not taking my medicines, so my doctors, the only reply my doctors were like, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. You don't take medicines. We can't do anything. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell them that I am taking medicines. Like, why would you not believe me? I agree. I was as a child. I am 25, 26 now. Believe me that I am taking my medicines, I'm taking care of myself. It's not a joke that, my ferritin level went down from 13 to 6,000. My doctor's reply was, yeah, so what? It's nothing to celebrate. Okay, I'm not celebrating. But, okay, I was celebrating a little, but obviously, excuse me, I worked hard to get my ferritin level from 13 to, 6,000. I worked hard a lot. And then, but the real, question was never there that why 1 month it's 5,000 and the next month is 9,000. There was no explanation for that. I was just told like, कि तुम दवाई नहीं खाती हो तो भाई हम तुम्हारा ध्यान नहीं दे सकते, हमें मत दिखाओ ये report. And also, when your own doctors talk to you like that, you emotionally, get, I don't know, like, how to put it in the phrase, but like emotionally, I broke down because it was like, I'm trying my best, like, if still, despite all of that, my doctors are giving up on me, then how the hell am I supposed to stay, motivated to keep going and, to take care of myself, because my doctors are not ready to listen. And if, despite of me, being regular on my medicines, if the ferritin level goes like higher, then either they need to change the combination, either they need to work on something. Their answer could not just be कि तुम तो दवाइयाँ नहीं खाते हो तो we give up on you. I was just, I don't know how I felt about it. I mean, it just felt like I was unheard as a patient. It felt like, my doctor is not willing to listen to me. Like, my doctor was just, I don't know, in what zone. And I get it, they have to see like some 100 patients, and yes, patients are stubborn, yes, patients don't want to listen and they don't take their medicines, but that cannot be the excuse to not hear your patient. And yeah, it was emotionally breaking me a lot. I didn't know what to do, because that was one doctor I was going to since I was a child. Changing doctors is also not easy when one doctor knows so much of your history. But over here, maybe changing the doctor was the solution, because maybe they know so much of your history and your stubbornness of not taking medicines that now they stop taking you seriously, which I'm not saying is completely their fault, but it is equally my fault. But I also feel like that humans in generally say that, move on in your life, move from the past, don't think about the past, live in the present, there's so many motivational speeches saying live in the present, think of the future. But not just in this case, in generally in life, like everybody wants to compare you with your past. तू तो ऐसी ही थी, तूने ये किया था तो तू अभी भी यही करती होगी. No, I was 16, 18, 20, 21, I'm 28 now. Obviously, I also grew up, I also changed, I also learned my lessons, I also went through, changes in my life to understand the rights and the wrongs. So, not just with my doctors, like in generally, I think everybody should just actually stop comparing you, or keep your past image as your present image. Anyhow, moving on. So changing the doctors meant going to a far away hospital from my house, to and then which doctor to go to, who to go to, also, like it was so many questions. And when you stay alone, it's not really, sometimes easy to organize yourself in that way, be able to make the decision of changing the doctor. Is something that you cannot immediately think. You need that support, you need someone, you need somebody to hear you, to listen to your problems, to to understand you, and not just stick with your past. So yes, so all that was happening. And when I came here, things drastically changed for me. Doctors were hearing me, doctors were trying all kind of you know medicines combinations, like how my doctor understood that maybe mentally I was tired, to prick myself on the skin. So they organized a nurse, and they organized this whole admission where we can try the new method of getting the desferal in my body. And it all happened, and it all worked out. Also, the reason that one time my ferritin level was 5,000 and one time it came 9,000, this difference within a month or within a gap of few months, is because when you have inflammation in your body, your iron level is increased, and that is why the report comes increased. So every time you get your ferritin levels checked, I would also suggest, it's just a suggestion, to also do a test where you can see if you have inflammation in your body or not. So, and this is something I got to know here in Geneva. Now, coming back to the whole admission part. हाय गाइस, बीच में थोड़ा ब्रेक हुआ क्योंकि लॉन्ड्री करना भी ज़रूरी है, और मेरे तो भाई लिटरली दिस इज़ द थर्ड राउंड. काफ़ी कपड़े इकट्ठे हो गए थे, फॉर सम रीज़न मैं कर नहीं पा रही थी. एंड बिकॉज वी हैव वन मशीन इन द होल बिल्डिंग, तो पीछे तुम देख सकते हो धोबी गार्ड बना हुआ है. तो एकदम एक्सट्रीम एंड में मेरे कपड़े हैं. अभी मैंने बाकियों के हटा के साइड पर रखे हैं और थोड़े से पुश कर दिए हैं, क्योंकि अभी मेरा एक लॉट धुल चुका है, सेकेंड लॉट धुल रहा है. इन 9 मिनट्स इट विल बी डन. उसके बाद हम धोएंगे थर्ड लॉट. तो मैंने सोचा चलो आज हम लॉन्ड्री रूम में ही बातें कर लें. लेट्स कंटिन्यू द कन्वर्सेशन. ओके, एनीहाउ, सो वेयर वर वी? My admission for trying the infusion. We can continue with this, and then they said that but getting a cannula with your kind of veins is going to be difficult. So how about we do the port? And I was like, but it seemed practical, because if I have to do everyday infusion through the vein, changing the cannula every 4 to 7 days would have meant damaging my veins even further. So they said, okay, for now you get discharged, we continue to do it through the cannula, and then once we have the appointment, because I agreed to get the port, I was like, ठीक है, दिख जाएगी क्या है जो भी है. Obviously I was scared, I was shit scared, and unfortunately my parents were not in town. So I only had my friends to count on, and luckily I am blessed with some good people in my life that they did show up, not just on the day of the surgery but also on the day, like the whole time I was admitted, because I was like, please do not leave me alone, it gets boring the whole day, because on television you mostly have like French shows coming which I don't understand, then how much ever I can do Netflix and chill, read books, blah blah blah. Plus the hospital food is better than India here, but it's still hospital food. So I was like, please get me food, get me things, get me like exciting things to eat, to do, exciting gossips. And they all were there. One of my friends made quiche from me, and when I initially met him, I got to know he makes good quiche, and I love quiche. So I was like, you have to make it for me, you have to make it for me. And every time I would meet, I was like, excuse me, where's my quiche? He's like, yeah, one day I'll make it. So being in the hospital, I think was the right time to actually take advantage and be like, now you can't say no. And actually he didn't say no, and he got me a big box of quiche. And if you're watching this video, please take your lunchbox back. Do you want your box back or not? And then I had one of my family relatives who made me chicken wings, and they make so good. Then I got a lot of cakes and sweets coming in. So it was overall like a very good experience. Took full advantage of all my friends to get me some nice eating things. And then on the day of my surgery, when I was going, so I was a bit nervous obviously, but I was trying to be all like strong, like yeah, I'm strong and I'm, you know, all is good. Then I went in for the surgery, hands strapped and my legs strapped on that operation theatre bed, stretcher, whatever you call it, because maybe they didn't want me to move, and my face was covered. And so when I woke up, like, so I through the cloth I could just feel very bright light on my eyes, and because my face was covered, so for a second I felt like claustrophobic. I went like, and then they calmed me, shh, it's almost done, it's almost done. And literally in like few seconds they just unstrapped me and everything. I think they were just doing the last dressing, and then it was nice. I had the needle on, I had my stitches, there was proper dressing on it. It was okay, I was feeling okay. And after the whole panic, my first question to the doctor was I snoring? Then I was like, oh, where's the anesthesia doctor? He's like, oh, he's gone out, he has another appointment. I was like, oh, okay, just if you see him, let him know, yeah, that he was right, this was the best sleep of my life. So, and actually guys, it was, I don't remember anything, I just slept. And when I woke up, I felt so relaxed. I felt like कि मतलब कितनी ही अच्छी नींद से उठ के मैं बस अभी, you know, बस बहुत अच्छी नींद थी, बहुत ही बढ़िया नींद थी, मतलब मजा आया.
Move quickly over my skin, stopping ever so often to dot an I or poke a period.
Anyhow, the whole surgery happened, and then the doctor said that, do you want to go back home or do you want to stay one more day? I was like, I would like to stay one more day and, you know, be in the hospital and get an infusion done through this in the hospital, just so that if, you know, there's any pain or discomfort or anything, I don't know how it feels, so if there's something like that, at least I can you know, communicate that immediately with the nurses, because if I go back home, then it's not going to be possible. Now also, all this happened, but it is something I cannot do myself, so I had to take a home caring nurse facilities. So every evening the nurse comes, they put in, we do the whole infusion for 8 to 12 hours, between 8 to 12 hours, depending upon what time the nurse comes and next morning what time they are coming. So according to that, we, you know, put the machine on 8 hours up till 12 hours. And then, definitely my life has been easier. For sure, my life has been easier. So from October mid till now, I have been getting my blood tests, my infusions, my transfusion, everything through this boat. In past 5 months, not a single prick on my hands or my veins have been done. But now the reason we switched to the cannula is because I have to go through the infusion every day. So the dressing was there almost every day. So generally I try to take 2 days off, because every 7 to 10 days they have to, 7 days, 10 days if in case, you know, we want to extend it, so we can extend it. It's not a big fuss, but yeah, we just have to be careful of like no infections and everything. But around 7 to 10 days we have to change the needle. So instead of 7 days, I do 5 days or sometimes 6 days to change the needle, because 2 days I take off of like no needle day for me, because even though it's easy, even though it's you know, more comfortable than a cannula, it's still, you know, mentally you have that thing that a needle is inside you. And no matter what, like I still have to be careful. Like I don't, you know, because when I'm feeling scratchy, I don't have to do this. I have to play very good, like careful around scratch, or if I'm doing some kind of activities, no push is done, or like the needle should not move. So even though till now what was happening was, because generally my skin is on a very dry side, so the skin over here being covered all the time really dehydrated my skin, even though the dressings, mostly dressings, are made where your skin is, it's a bit breathable, but it's still not enough, because it's not getting the moisturizer it needs. It's not getting like enough air. There's still some ventilation in the dressing, but it's still not enough for my skin to not get dehydrated. So it got so dehydrated, and it started to be so itchy that even like when they started cleaning it with alcohol before the needle prick, it started to burn. I requested my doctor to please consider putting a cannula, because I don't want to do it on the skin. I think I've just, and honestly, if after the port I feel cannula is like a nightmare, and I have done cannula for 25 and a half years of my life, 26 and a half years of my life. I've done cannula literally every 15-20 days. So if after 5 months I'm saying this is a nightmare, then imagine doing on the skin. It's even worse for some reason. For some reason, it's the worst. Okay, for me at least, it's the worst. So I was like, no, let's be on the middle ground and let's do the cannula. But on the second day of my infusion with the cannula, this is I think my 5th day cannula. Literally on the second day, I was like, why? Was I feeling FOMO of not getting a cannula? What was happening? Why did I choose to do cannula? Because yeah, it's not very good. After port, I think I am not comfortable with anything. My experience with the port has been so nice, so nice. Obviously there are like drawbacks of the skin dehydrating, but obviously if you talk to your doctors, and it can be managed. It's not something that cannot be managed. Immediately once they realized the alcohol is making my skin even more sensitive, they switched the alcohol swabs to a much more like sensitive and less alcohol product. Me, it has been, going back to the cannula has been very not easy. It's something I'm used to, so I'm somewhere in between of a discomfort and like, yeah, whatever, I'm used to it. Also there's like a major swelling because of the the desferal accumulation, or just the vein being too small and too much product going in, whatever. There's a swelling, but that's the thing over here. There's no swelling, there's nothing in here, so it all works out perfectly. So in between there was another break, because I had my therapy session, so I had to join that. The therapy session is done, the laundry is done, everything is done. Now, last what we were talking about, I thought I said relax karke baith rahe, because I would like to stay candid. I don't want to be like. Also, a lot of people suggested me, why don't you close the door for your cupboard? First of all, this is the only spot which has nice natural lighting in my room, literally next to the window. So yeah, that's why I'm shooting here. And second of all, it's a sliding door, and it broke. I didn't break it, it was just like that. In fact, I, with a lot of difficulties, एक्चुअली फिक्स्ड इट. मुझे कारपेंटर बनना पड़ा और मुझे किसी तरह उसको फिक्स करना पड़ा, और वो ऐसे फिक्स हुआ कि उसके बाद अगर मैं उसको दोबारा बंद करने लगूँ या मेरे को वो मूवमेंट बार बार करना पड़ेगा, तो दरवाज़ा फिर टूट जाएगा. तो इसलिए हम उसको खुला रखते हैं फॉर माई ईजी एक्सेस ऑफ माई थिंग्स. लाइक ओवर हियर it's hard, it's swollen, it's also when they flush, it doesn't pain, or either my pain tolerance has gone to a whole new level. Because if I remember, if last year somebody in that swelling would have flushed, I would have ended up crying. I hate getting my cannulas flushed. But over here, because they flush when they flush after the first bag of transfusion, they flush after the second bag is done, and then even like to remove, before removing the cannula, they flush to see that the vein is clean and it's nice, it's good. So yes, I'm a little used to getting flushed, Yeah, but in India, I was not at all used to, and in India, I used to cry very easily while getting flushed. But over here, with that kind of a swelling, and when it flushes, I can feel like like the water. It's hard for the water to pass through the swelling. Like I literally feel it on my skin, but it doesn't hurt. So either my pain tolerance has gone way too high, or it's weird. It's just weird because this cannot be normal. और ये थोड़ा सी ये चीज़ें अकेले करने में थोड़ी मुश्किल हो जाती है गाइस यार, बट ठीक है. That's why they call us warriors, survivors, because sometimes you have to do things on your own and you don't always have somebody to help you. And in my story also, if like people who isn't following my Instagram, I will share, I will put the link to my Instagram down in the description, where I post more about my hospital updates and what's going on and what's like just, and I don't post, it's like more of a story thing right now. I'm not posting a lot on that page. I just put like stories related to myself, related to the hospital, related to my transfusions. So you can press the link, you'll find the Instagram link down below, and you can go follow me there, because I shared this story. As you can see, I forgot the name. What is it called? Blood set. Yeah, kind of a blood set. It's attached, like two of them are attached together, and I said, I'm joking. I am joking. Basically, I'm not getting two transfusions at one time. The first blood got over, and instead of removing the first blood set, they attached the other one on the same line, because it has multiple openings. So they attached the second bag there, and left the first blood set still attached to me. But no, I was not getting transfusion, two bags together. So yes, that was the whole story behind the thing. What else? What else? So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video, because I had a lot of questions like, why did you switch to Cannula? What happened to your port? And also wanted to clear this, that I'm not getting two transfusions in one go. And yeah, these were all my questions. If you have any more questions, you can comment down below, and I can answer and make a video. And if you can also follow me on my Instagram. You can DM me there about your questions, your messages, your anything you would want to talk to me about. And that's it for now. I think I'm going to continue. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to suggest me a name for the series where it's just like a story time. I would like some nice fun name for the series, so please comment down your suggestions. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe. A lot of you people are watching my videos without subscribing me, so go and hit that subscribe button. And if you think it was a little informative, and you got to know more about the port, then do let me know what are your thoughts, or anything else you would like to know related to the port. And yes, till then, keep supporting me, keep showing your love, and don't forget to subscribe.